I'm Azaria Tagaya and this is Nightline, news making the headlines. Malaysia receives Germany's support with 45.4 billion ringgit in investment commitments. And 2024 Indonesia elections, Anies Baswedan to contest election results in top court. Good morning. Malaysia records new investment interest with a potential value of 45.4 billion ringgit as a result of the roundtable meeting and Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim's meeting with the captains of industry and business leaders in Germany. The potential investment includes new projects as well as expansion and diversification projects. Nearly 40 leading industry and business leaders from Germany, Belgium and France participated in this roundtable meeting organised by the Investment, Trade and Industry Ministry. The Prime Minister assured German businesses that Malaysia remains the best location and destination of choice, emphasising a business-friendly approach for investors. Exfab Silicone Foundries, Melexis and Schott have informed the latest developments of their respective projects with an approved investment worth 4.45 billion ringgit currently under construction and expected to start operations this year. Their project is currently under construction and expect their facility to be operational within this year. Infineon Technologies AG said the company is on track to build the world's largest 200mm silicon carbide SiC power fabrication plant in Kuala. There are currently over 700 German companies based in Malaysia, with 65,000 jobs created. In 2023, Malaysia's total trade with Germany increased by 5.9% to 63.45 billion ringgit from 59.87 billion ringgit in 2022. Meanwhile, at a dinner with the Malaysian diaspora in Berlin, Anwar assured concerned parents that the rights of children born abroad are being addressed by the government. He said the cabinet has agreed to bring an amendment to the federal constitution relating to the citizenship rights of children born abroad to Parliament this month.
We have announced that we are tabling the motion next week, most likely, because the issue is the parent. In the present constitution, for decades, parent means father. Yes. We realize that is not right. Yes. So parents mean father and mother.
Thank you for
that. So
that
has been passed. My dear, don't worry, your baby or child.
My two children.
Okay, dua-dua lah, 20. It's done. Is already cleared by the cabinet.
Anwar then spent the second day of Ramadan by engaging with the Muslim community in Germany. He made his way to Berlin's Shahidlik Mosque, where he performed his Isha and Tarawih prayers. He was greeted upon arrival by Turkish ambassador to Germany, Ahmed Bashar Shen. During his visit, Anwar also exchanged views with the local Muslim community on issues pertaining to Muslim development in Germany, as well as that of Palestine. Now, the Human Resources Ministry is refining the details of the implementation of a gig workers commission in a joint study with University Malaya UM. Human Resources Minister Stephen Sim said the interim report related to the study would be presented to the Cabinet in the next 3 months.
Sekarang kita tengah melaksanakan kajian tentang terma rujukan, fungsi, pengurusan kewangan dan sebagainya, keahlian Suruhanjaya bersama dengan Universiti Malaya.
Sim was speaking to the media after attending the launching ceremony of the Self-Employment Social Security Scheme's Free Contribution Initiative. Sim highlighted that the study is in response to Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim's announcement on the commission at the closing ceremony of the Bumiputra Economic Congress on March 2nd. The Prime Minister stated that the aim of forming the commission is to protect the rights of more than 1 million gig workers in the country, with a focus on meeting social needs, resolving contract disputes and promoting the career advancement of the group. Earlier, reports had suggested that the ministry would lead a committee comprising other ministries and stakeholders to establish the Gig Workers Commission.
Charging the future. With Malaysia setting a bold target to generate 70% of energy from renewables by 2050, how does the renewable energy industry strategize and innovate as it navigates towards achieving this ambitious goal? Money Matters with Managing Director of Gading Kencana Sdn Bhd, Datuk Dr. Engineer Muhammad Guntur Mansur Tobing, this Saturday at 5 p.m. on TV3 and stream on Tonton.
The Customs Department scored a major seizure of white cigarettes worth over 4.3 million ringgit through two separate operations conducted in Selangor and Kuala Lumpur late last month. Its Deputy Director General of Enforcement and Compliance, Datuk Sazali Mohamad, said the first operation involved a raid at a warehouse in Sri Kembangan on February 22nd. According to Sazali, 2 million sticks of white cigarettes, estimated to be worth 1.33 million ringgit, including unpaid duties and tax, were seized at the location. In another operation on February 29th, customs enforcement officers intercepted a lorry along the Karak-Kuala Lumpur highway. When inspecting the lorry, the team found 3.9 million sticks of white cigarettes valued at 3.01 million ringgit. The lorry driver, a local man, was arrested, and both cases are being investigated under the Customs Act for storing and transporting prohibited goods. In another development, Sazali said that the customs had detained 4 containers containing used batteries estimated to be worth 1.17 million ringgit at Westport on February 28th, which were falsely declared as aluminium flakes to avoid detection by authorities. The next day, cigarettes, liquor and electronic waste worth 1.52 million ringgit kept in 2 containers, which were falsely declared as copper alloy, were also impounded at the same port. Meanwhile, a total of 73 packs of organic jumbo medjool dates believed to be products from Israel were seized by the Customs Department in a raid at a warehouse in Port Klang on Tuesday. Sazali said the dates, weighing about 14.6 kilograms, were valued at 678 ringgit. The 11:30 a.m. raid was conducted following a viral video alleging the existence of a premises suspected to be selling dates from Israel. A local man in his 40s, who is believed to be the owner of the business, was also arrested for further investigation. Raids were also conducted at 2 other locations involving an office in Klang and an organic food store in Petaling Jaya. Investigations found that the dates were imported along with other food items in bulk from European countries in 2022 and declared as foodstuff. They were then repackaged for sale in the local market at prices ranging from 20 to 30 ringgit per pack. In Kelantan, a 36-year-old local man wanted for violent crimes and drug-related offences was nabbed by the police in a raid at a house in Kota Baru on Tuesday night. During the 11 p.m. raid at the suspect's residence at Jalan Long Yunus, Kampung Tanjung Chat, police also discovered 2 guns, a Beretta Gardone VT and a .357 Magnum revolver. State Police Chief Datuk Muhammad Zaki Harun on Wednesday stated that the 2 firearms were concealed in a custom-made drawer which requires card access. A search of the house also uncovered 54 live bullets and a bag containing 1,200 ecstasy pills and 550 RM45 pills. He added that the suspect had 2 previous criminal records but tested negative for drugs. The man has been remanded for 6 days until next Monday. The case is being investigated under the Firearms Increased Penalties Act, the Arms Act and the Dangerous Drugs Act. Explosion at restaurant in China kills 2. News from the foreign front when we return.
Anak soleh, Mami. Bangun. Kita nak sahur ni. Anaki ni, dia kena manja-manja dulu sebelum dia bangun.
Wah, cepat sikit. Dah lambat dah ni.
Dia kata hari ni cuti.
Cuti.
Mami jumpa.
Tumpah? Mami marah adik boleh?
Tak payah.
Hai korang. Hari ni Mira nak syuting Nona. Ramai lagi dalam ni. Jangan lupa saksikan saya, Amira Rosli bersama keluarga dalam Oh Mami, hanya di TV3.
Korang baru balik dari bazar kan? Apa lagi? Jomlah tonton drama-drama terbaik Ramadan minggu ini di TV3.
Mira tipu aku.
Thank you so much, sayang.
Welcome.
Dia nak nikah perempuan tu?
Kau dah kenapa senyum macam orang gila ni? Sakit ke?
Gila tak sakit?
Calon apa?
Cuma bukan nak rampas dia daripada Mami pun. Takut kena racun lah. Dalam mi goreng tu.
Saksikan di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Baru pukul 10 malam kan? Mestilah kena tengok telefilm setiap Jumaat di TV3. Baju berkancing peniti 1 Mac. Hantu Karaoke 8 Mac. Iman ke Syurga 15 Mac. Tragedi Balik Kampung 22 Mac. Makbul 29 Mac.
Kenapa bukan orang lain?
Telefilm yang menarik setiap Jumaat 10 malam di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Back now with the foreign news. Indonesian presidential candidate Anies Baswedan on Wednesday said he plans to file a case at the country's constitutional court contesting the results of last month's election. Anies, who was the former governor and education minister and has previously criticised what he said was a lack of state neutrality in this year's election, plans to file the case after the official results are announced next week on March 20th, but declined to provide further details. The move comes as parties supporting Anies and another presidential candidate, Ganjar Pranowo, have also discussed launching a parliamentary investigation into the government's conduct in the lead-up to voting day and alleged election violations. Though the Constitutional Court typically handles election disputes, Indonesia's parliament has the power to investigate government policy or implementation of certain regulations and can examine the conduct of public officials, including the president.
Komitmen kita adalah kita akan terus.
US President Joe Biden and his predecessor Donald Trump have both passed the delegate thresholds to clinch their party's nominations for the election in November. This after 4 states, 1 American territory and Democrats living abroad held their primaries on Tuesday. The results means US voters face a rematch of the 2020 presidential election in 8 months' time. The 81-year-old president said that he was honored voters had backed his re-election bid in a moment when the threat Trump poses is greater than ever. Meanwhile, Trump remains very popular with the Republican voter base, which has propelled him to victory in primary after primary over well-funded rivals. Though several more states have yet to hold their primary contests, with Trump and Biden over the delegate threshold, the 2024 general election is now effectively underway. The US presidential election will be held on November 5th, 2024. At least 2 people were killed and 26 others injured after a suspected gas explosion ripped through a residential neighborhood in northern China on Wednesday. According to local media, the powerful blast occurred just before 8 a.m. local time at a ground floor of a restaurant in a residential area in Sanhe City, Hebei province, east of the capital Beijing, leaving at least 3 buildings severely damaged, with 1 left in a skeletal state. They added that authorities have basically determined the explosion was caused by a gas leak, though they have not identified the specific cause or location of the blast. In a bid to prevent further accidents, a local company temporarily halted the provision of gas to 50 residential compounds and businesses in the area. Recovery operations are currently underway, with 36 emergency vehicles and 154 personnel dispatched to the scene. Israel on Wednesday continues to push back against the accusations of torture leveled at its armed forces in an unpublished report by the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, UNRWA. The report details the extensive use of torture against Palestinians taken prisoner by the Israeli military in Gaza, including 21 UNRWA staff members and 15 family members of UNRWA staff, an accusation Israel has denied. Meanwhile, health officials in Gaza say Zionist attacks killed another 88 people over the past 24 hours. The regime hit a UN aid distribution center in Rafah, killing at least 5 Palestinians and wounding dozens. They also carried out more raids in the occupied West Bank, killing at least 4 more and destroying infrastructure. The violence brings the death toll to over 31,200 people since October 7th, including more than 12,300 children. Seizure eliminates Naraoka in All England opening round. Sports after this breather.
Hai, Syiha. Kau tak haus ke? Nak air? Segelas. Garam ni apa agak-agak lah dengan...
Macam mana? Yang tadi berkemain lagi.
Awak ni pisau tumpul yang sangat production, oi. Seakan-akan macam mengindah-indah di rumah. Jom berbuka. Buka apa tu? Dah buka tu? Aku rasa kau kena bawa lah bini kau ni pergi doktor. Tata dia ni mandor ni.
Mak!
Mak tu jangan sibuk nak atur hidup anak-anak mak. Payah!
Semua ni aku, Mel.
Kau dengar kau mengandung. Lepas ni, lagi bahagialah kau dengan Syam.
Ya ke bahagia?
Kau tipu aku, Syam.
Aku akan pastikan Sarina jatuh dekat tangan aku.
Aku dah selangkah depan daripada kau.
Pinangkan Nina untuk abang.
Rindu Kasih musim kedua, Isnin hingga Khamis 10 malam di Samarinda TV3.
Indahnya berbagi, berkongsi rasa, eratkan hubungan. WHI Kongsi kembali lagi. Kami terus menyantuni golongan yang memerlukan. Hantarkan sumbangan anda berbentuk persiapan Ramadan dan Hari Raya kepada alamat yang tertera sebelum 28 Mac 2024.
Marhaban ya Ramadan.
On to sports now with badminton and the 2024 All England Championships. Top national men's singles shuttler Lee Seizure returned to his winning ways by defeating Japan's Kodai Naraoka to advance to the second round on Wednesday. Seizure, ranked 10th in the world, outclassed the world number 6 ranked Japanese player 21-12, 21-19 in straight sets in the opening round of the Super 1000 tournament in Birmingham. The 25-year-old, who has never failed to at least reach the semi-finals in all 4 of his previous appearances, will meet former world champion Loh Kian Yew of Singapore next. In the mixed doubles event, Chen Tangji Toh Yi Wei toppled Thailand's Dechapol Puavaranukroh Sapsiri Teratana-Chai in 3 sets to cruise into the second round. The world number 9 duo needed 57 minutes to defeat the world number 6, 21-14, 12-21, 21-15 in the first round. Tangji Yi Wei will next play either Netherlands world number 15 Robin Tabeling Selina Peek or Denmark's world number 22 Matthias Thierry Amalie Magelund in the second round. Women's singles shuttler, meanwhile, Goh Jinwei suffered a disappointing first-round exit after going down to China's He Bingjiao. World number 34 Jinwei found the world number 6 too hot to handle as she lost 15-21, 20-22 in just 37 minutes. Football now, the 2023-24 AFC Champions League. Al Hilal have broken the world record for consecutive wins after beating rivals Al Ittihad 2-0 in the second leg of the quarterfinals for their 28th victory in a row. Al Hilal took the lead just after the hour mark when Salim Al-Dasari played in Sergei Milinkovic-Savic for the Serbian international to beat Yasir Al-Shahrani, who slot past Ittihad goalkeeper Abdullah Al-Mayouf. Ittihad's miserable night was summed up in the final minute of normal time when Abdurazak Hamdallah was given a second booking for grabbing Hilal defender Ali Al-Bulahi by the throat. Malcolm finally put the icing on the cake deep into injury time after the Brazilian raced onto Alexander Mitrovic's through ball to seal a memorable night for the Riyadh Giants. With the win, Al Hilal will take on Al Ain in the semi-finals next month after the side eliminated Cristiano Ronaldo's Al Nassr on Monday in a penalty shootout. On to tennis, the 2024 Indian Wells Open. Defending champion Carlos Alcaraz sailed into the quarterfinals as he took revenge on Fabian Marochan with a straight-set victory. The Spaniard needed 1 hour and 15 minutes to wrap up a 6-3, 6-3 win against the Hungarian as he secured his 50th match win at the ATP Masters 1000 level. He will face German 6th seed Alexander Zverev in the last 8. Earlier, 26-year-old Zverev booked a spot in the quarterfinals after defeating Australia's Alex de Minaur. Zverev had a shaky start after losing the first set 5-7. The German, however, clawed his way into the tie, claiming a 6-2, 6-3 victory in the next 2 sets. In another match, number 32 seed Yiri Lehechka advanced to the quarterfinals by beating Greek Stefanos Tsitsipas in straight sets. The Czech faced no trouble as he clinched a 6-2, 6-4 win against Tsitsipas. Lehechka will face number 3 seed Italian Yannick Sinner next. In the women's category, top seed Iga Swiatek swatted aside Yulia Putintseva in straight sets 6-1, 6-2. With the win, Swiatek had set up a quarter-final clash with former world number 1 Caroline Wozniacki. Coming up next, cause of fire in Kampung Pandan expected to be known within 2 weeks. Stay with us.
Why is so much sugar?
Oh, janganlah bubur semua.
You letak untuk air.
You boleh sabar tak?
Bunyi yang paling
paling mengiurkan di bulan puasa. Bukan. Mira tak ada idea lah nak masak apa untuk berbuka ni.
Lah, janganlah stres-stres. P3 ada banyak di sepi yang mak-mak, akak-akak boleh cuba tau.
Lepas tu apa kata Morin sambil tengok sembang sahur.
Tapi yang best ya, Mira seronok dia tengok dia bangun sahur ni.
Buffet dekat sini memang sangat-sangat meriah.
Dah siap Rabu Temikai Tok Mina. Boleh cuba resepi asam pedas Syihan.
Saksikan di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Exactly. Why order nasi goreng kerabu kalau tak nak kerabu? Kenapa tak nasi goreng biasa je dia order?
Alah, dia standard lah tu. Honeymoon apa ni? Mami tengok biasa je.
Anji ada cerita mana-mana? Appreciate dah dia sikit,
Bi dah janji dengan Anji tapi sampai sekarang Bi tak bagi pun.
Bi sebenarnya
Jom dah tak tahan dah.
Iskandar Cempaka, Khamis hingga Sabtu, 9 malam di Lestari TV3.
Back with us on Nightline. The preliminary crash report on the Kapa Air Crash on February 13th indicates that the black shape BK-160TR likely broke up mid-flight. According to the Air Accident Investigation Bureau, AAIB, the distribution of debris strongly suggests that large structural parts separated from the aircraft while in flight before impacting the ground at the oil palm plantation. In its preliminary report released on Wednesday, AAIB said that a large part of the right wing had detached from the aircraft and that the sheer force of the crash was non-survivable for its occupants. It also said that there was also the installation of aircraft parts and aircraft servicing by unauthorized maintenance organizations or persons who were not properly qualified to carry out the maintenance activities. It added that one of the irregular activities up to the time of the report's issuance included the removal of the aircraft's nose landing gear and the installation of a new one by quote-unquote unauthorized maintenance personnel or persons who were not appropriately qualified. The installation of the new nose landing gear was completed just prior to the accident. The apparent purpose of the flight was to test the newly installed nose landing gear. The AAIB also said that routine maintenance activities were performed on the aircraft by unauthorized and unqualified maintenance personnel, as well as other servicing conducted at the end of November 2023. It stressed that there is high likelihood that there were other irregular maintenance works based on the entries in the maintenance log kept by the late pilot. The AAIB also revealed that in the preliminary report there is evidence that the BK-160TR had exceeded the 850 kilograms maximum takeoff weight of the aircraft during the flight. In its conclusions of the preliminary report, the AAIB noted that the pilot was properly licensed and qualified for the flight and that the aircraft had valid airworthiness certification. In the February 13th crash, 30-year-old pilot Daniel Yi Siang Kun and 42-year-old passenger Roshan Singh Rania were both killed after the aircraft, which took off from the Sultan Abdulaziz Shah Airport in Subang, crashed some 40 kilometers east near Kampung Tok Muda in Kapa. The cause of the fire involving 15 houses in Kampung Pandan Indian settlement in the federal capital late Tuesday is expected to be known within 2 weeks. Kuala Lumpur Fire and Rescue Senior Assistant Superintendent Mustafa Kamal Muhammad Arif said this is because firemen experienced some problems when battling the blaze. He said the forensic team is conducting an investigation to determine the cause of the fire. The fire affected the houses at an area of 300 square feet. Firefighters received the emergency call about the incident at 9:51 p.m. 48 firemen in 9 engines from Pudu, Jalan Hang Tuah, Keramat, Sentul, Bandar Tun Razak and Cheras stations were dispatched to the scene. No casualties were reported and the fire was completely extinguished at 12:30 midnight. Meanwhile, checks at the location found some individuals believed to be homeowners and relatives removing the remains to salvage their belongings.
Tak ada, dia orang tak dapat selamatkan apa-apa barang. So everything like gone like that. Semua dah habis.
For Sinia Paramasilvam, who has lived there for over 30 years, he said the fire broke out when he had just returned from work and was shocked to see his house on fire.
Kawasan saya bukit tinggi sikit dia. Orang ramai keluar barang-barang. Adik-adik saya pun keluar barang. Saya pun tolong dia orang. Punca dia tengah. Rumah tengah bakar kiri kanan.
The Taman Maluri Community Hall has been turned into a temporary relief centre for all the victims. The elder sister of the murdered single mother, Mila Sharmila Samsusa, better known as Bella, has been arrested by the police. The 36-year-old woman was arrested for sharing the picture of a 4-year-old child online, believed to be a family member of Bella's boyfriend, who is the suspect in the murder case. Batu Pahat District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Ismail Dola said in a statement that the police received a report on the incident on March 8th from a woman who reported that a picture of her child was shared during a live stream on TikTok. Bella's sister was apprehended when she appeared at the Batu Pahat Police Headquarters at around 2 a.m. on Wednesday to have a statement taken regarding the police report made against her for allegedly violating the Child Act. Bella's sister was taken to the Batu Pahat Magistrates Court, where Magistrate Nurasidah A. Rahman granted a 1-day remand to assist in the police investigation. Police have also confiscated a mobile phone believed to have been used by the woman during the live session to help with the investigation. The case is being investigated under Section 15 of the Child Act for sharing information that would lead to the identification of a child. Upon conviction, the Act carries a fine of not more than 10,000 ringgit, imprisonment of not more than 10 years, or both. On January 24th, a 25-year-old former postman was charged in the Batu Pahat Magistrates Court with the murder of his 32-year-old girlfriend, a single mother known as Bella, in Tongkang Pecah. Elephants in Thailand's ancient city of Ayutthaya enjoy a special fruit feast to celebrate National Elephant Day on Wednesday, accompanied by traditional ceremonies performed by Buddhist monks. With that, I'm Azaria Tagaya. Thanks for tuning in and selamat bersahur.